Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Anatomy of Knitting, episode 89. My name is Erin, and I'm going to be your host. Today is January 21st, 2016, and I'm coming to you from Cork, Ireland. I'm an American expat living here. We should be living here for about another year or so. I've got this week in review. I've got what's on the needles, and I've got an update to something that happened in the last podcast. So let's get started. For the week in review, I didn't record last week because my husband and I attempted to get our GNIB cards renewed. The GNIB is Garda Immigration National Bureau, something like that. Basically, it's a group of the police that we have to go to and register with every year. We get this nice little card that I don't really see the use of day to day. It's good for when we go on trips and we come back into the country, because we have a stamp that covers us for the entire year. We can come and go as we please, instead of getting like a 3-month stamp. And so last week we tried to renew. So my husband, we've been here for almost 2 years. So my husband can apply for, I think, a stamp 4. There's different stamps. I'm on a stamp 3 because I'm a dependent of him, and I don't have a job and I can't work under this stamp. But he's going to be going, I think, from a stamp, I want to say stamp 2 to a stamp 4. The stamp 4 means that he doesn't have to go and register every year with the GNIB Bureau. He could go every other year. Excuse me. But unfortunately, he has to come with me to go register. So he doesn't avoid going to the Garda every year. He has to go with me. Anyway, so we're in the process of applying for that stamp, but we needed a temporary extension because the law office that was preparing his paperwork took their time, and so our stuff will expire before we are able to get that new stamp. Or there's some letter, I think, that has to be. So apparently, I guess the people who approved his work visa now have to approve this new letter saying he can get this new stamp. They have to send all this application stuff. Somebody high up has to look at it and approve it. And so we're waiting on that. That takes 6 to 8 weeks. And so we needed that temporary stamp because our cards expire next Thursday. So we went to try and get this temporary stamp, but because my husband is going out of town this weekend, they wouldn't give it to us because he mentioned I'm going out of town, and the person working said, oh, well, the people that work the customs and immigration, when you come into the country, they're not gonna like that the dates don't match, so they refuse to give it to us. So I won't be recording a podcast next week because we will be getting our temporary stamp, hopefully. We better be, otherwise I guess we'd be deported or something. Anyway, so that was fun to deal with, and by fun I mean not really at all. Let's see, the boys. Oh, excuse me, the boys are good. Malcolm has a cold and has given me the cold, so you can kind of probably hear it. They have been having a hard time, or at least I've been having a hard time getting them to school, to go to the creche. They go to the creche, which is daycare, on Thursdays. They're there all day, and it's just kind of a chance to give me a break and a chance for them to really have time away and socialize with a bunch of other kids. So they're there right now. I've had really hard times, probably for the last 3 or 4 months. Oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm so yawny this morning. Big deep breath. I've been having a hard time, probably about the last 4 or 5 months, dropping them off because they get really upset and they're very tearful, and it's kind of a nightmare in the morning. And so last night I kind of, I try and sort of prepare them as the week goes. I say, okay, it's Monday, you go to school in 4 days. Oh, it's Tuesday. Oh, day after tomorrow we go to school. Oh, Wednesday. Oh, boys, you get to go to school tomorrow. Isn't that so exciting? And usually they're like, no, not exciting, mother. So I was doing this yesterday after they got up from it was before they went down for their nap. And I said, well, school's tomorrow. Isn't that exciting? And Malcolm was like, I don't want to go to school. And I said, well, sweetie, if you want to grow up and be a firefighter or if you want to grow up to be a firefighter or a pilot or a doctor or a nurse or anything, or an astronaut, you gotta go to school and you gotta do well in school. So he was kind of like, So then I decided to get on YouTube and show him some videos from Chris Hadfield. And you may know him. He's a Canadian astronaut, and he's been the commander of the ISS, the International Space Station. And he's got a YouTube channel and has a bunch of videos about his time in space there. So there's videos about how he eats, what kind of things he eats. There's videos about what sleeping is like aboard the space station. There's videos. He's got some music videos. I don't know why I'm so yawny. And so I was showing them those, and Malcolm was just fascinated. He loved watching these videos, and I would point out, I was like, oh, look, he's floating, or his microphone is floating, and there's no gravity there, and that's how that works, and so he just got really excited, and so we turned off the videos, and he turns to me and goes, Mommy, I want to be an Astrosnot. And I said, excellent, I would be super proud if you became an astronaut. But you have to do really well at math, and you have to do really well at science, and, I would be really, really proud of you, but maybe a little scared. As the mother. Anyway, it was so cute hearing him say, I want to be an Astrosnot, just because it's super funny. I try and not repeat his misinterpretation, his mispronunciations of words. I try and just continue to use it appropriately. Astronaut instead of Astrosnot. And he's now starting to say it correctly, but it's super cute when he's like, I want to be an Astrosnot. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the week in review. We'll be signing the boys up for the early childhood education scheme that they have here, the early child care education scheme. I think that's what it's ECCE. Basically in September, from September until I think June of next year, the boys will be able to go to creche school, 3 hours a day, 5 days a week for free. Well, it's not really for free. We pay for it through our taxes and stuff, but it's not. There's not an extra fee. So coming in September, the boys will be going every day for 3 hours a day, and then we're going to up our full days to twice a week. So that should be quite a change. My knitting production should go up, I would think. I'm looking forward to that. I kind of miss being able to knit and spin and sew all I wanted to. So anyway, let's get on to what's on the needles. The first thing I'll show you, I don't think I have yes, here it is. This is Knitted Wit Find Treasures from a Sassy Girl. This is her bling yarn. It's superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. And it is in the 12th Man colorway. And the 12th Man is in reference to the Seattle Seahawks. And so here is the ball of yarn. You can see the sparkle fairly nicely there. That turns up really well. The color isn't 100% accurate. The blue is a hair lighter than what you see here. I cast on a pair of socks, and there was definite pooling. I love how that the green and the navy, or the blue, I don't think it's supposed to be navy, but it's supposed to be kind of like a dark teal, I think. I love how they alternated there, and then you can see when I hold that is that all of the gray kind of pooled in one section of the sock, which I think is kind of fun. So I've got the cuff done, and I've got, I think, about 4 rows of the heel done. I like to do the slip stitch heel just for the way it looks, the texture of it. Not really because I need the extra fabric support. You know, I don't blow through my heels. I tend to blow through my toes. So, yeah, there's, well, I guess 6 rows now. 6 rows of slip stitching. So I think I was maybe about here when I last spoke to you, so I got a fair amount done. I like to keep these in the playroom for when the boys are busy with their Thomas trains or with their cars, that they can, you know, I can do a couple of rounds or do a couple of rows of the heel before they want me to play with them. So that's kind of nice. The second thing I'm going to show you, I have a tag. Not sure I do. If I do, it's underneath you, which I'm not going to move. This is some alpaca yarn that I got from Dublin. So, if you watch the last episode, you'll see which yarn it is. I had 2 hanks of this. It's I think it's a lace weight or a light fingering. And it's this beautiful purple. It's showing up a little more red here. I am using it to knit the, I'll show you, a cowl. It is called the, of course, we need to update, the eccentric cowl. So there's the photo from the pattern. This is a paid-for pattern on Ravelry. The last time I spoke with you, I believe I was just about to finish the repeat of the cowl. I think there was supposed to be like 5 repeats, and I decided to do more. So I've gotten a fair amount more done. This is going to be the hugest thing. It may not be the best idea for a cowl, but whatevs. It'll be nice and warm. So I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I did 7 repeats of the middle pattern, and then I just finished the last chart. So you'll see that the lace, there's a little more lace between this chevron and then the chevron up here. It looks beautiful. Can't wait to block it and make it look lovely. So now all I have to do is 4 rounds of seed stitch, which will match the cast on edge. So yeah, it's just gonna be a huge lacy cowl, and I'm gonna block it, and it's gonna be huge. I'm gonna wear it, I think, doubled over. What else can I say about this? This is a super easy knit. Once you do the lace chart once or twice, you should be able to memorize the stitch pattern. Yeah, there. You can kind of see it. Creates all these chevrons, which are really pretty. I should be able to cast this off probably this evening or today, and then block it. That will be a process. Stretching it, and thankfully I've got blocking wires. I think I'm going to be stretching through the bottom holes of the lace. So we shall see. We shall see how it turns out. Should have that done. And then just to follow up from something that happened last time, I told you about my signatures breaking and how I was not happy because signatures are expensive, and I didn't think that they would replace the needle. These are their original circular needles that don't convert. After I finished recording, while I was doing the processing and uploading and all that stuff that takes time, I was doing some looking around on the interwebs, as I like to call them. And so I went to the Signature site, and I just wanted to double check. And so, because I could have sworn I had seen on a podcast that somebody had said that Signature, doesn't replace any of their stuff. So I went on their site and saw that they do have a guarantee if it's a how did they put it, like a factory error that causes the needle to fail, i.e., like if you sit on it and break it or something, or maybe not sit on it, but I don't know, if you shut your car door in it, I don't think they'd replace your knitting needle. But because my knitting needle broke, right at that hub there, that I thought, well, maybe they'll replace it. So what you do is you send an email to their customer service with a picture and what needles you have, and then they respond to you. So I thought, well, even if they say we're not going to replace them, at least I've tried. So I did that. I sent them a picture and ended up getting a replacement needle, which arrived yesterday. They don't make these needles anymore. They make the convertible needles. So I have got two. These are size 4s. Yep, new size 4s, and then there is the cord for it. So I have to take back what I said last time of how I was really disappointed with Signature needles, because these are really expensive needles, and I hate that if you're knitting and through no fault of your own, I take care of my needles. I don't attempt to destroy them. That they should replace it, and so thankfully they did. I'm very pleased. I recorded 2 weeks ago, I believe. So the discussion with the company and then the sending me these needles took less than 2 weeks. So I'm sure if you were in the States, that would happen a lot quicker. So I can definitely recommend Signature Needle Arts and their knitting needles. I think it's a great guarantee, and I'm really pleased with it. So let's see. Is there anything else I can tell you about? I'm going to throw away these needles, sadly. Don't really like throwing away any needles, but they're broken and you can't do anything. So I think that's it. I don't really have a whole heck of a lot more to talk about. We'll see how next week goes. Hopefully I won't be recording from the States next time you see me. Hopefully everything has gone well with that. We're going on the day that our cards expire, so I'm halfway expecting them to give us some attitude about it. But I'll just say, hey, your coworker told us to come back, and we're not able to come back until that day. I'm supposed to have surgery on Monday. It's to follow up these guys. So this was a basal cell carcinoma that was removed, which I was pretty sure that's what it was. But apparently he didn't get clean edges, so he has to go in and take more skin out. And then I had a bump there that you may remember, and a bump here that you may remember. He removed those at the same time and sent those for exam. I have had those for years and years, especially the one that was down here. I've had this one for at least 15 years, I believe. Well, that was a basal cell as well. So he has to go in, and because he just kind of chopped the top of it off, he now has to go in and redo things. So I will be wounded again next time I podcast with you. Hopefully, it will go a little bit better. I don't really like this one. This one you can't really see because it's in that wrinkle there. But I was really unpleased with how this one turned out, and now it's scarred. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. I hope you all have a good week, and let me know if you have any questions on the Rav board. If you are going on to Craftsy, please take a moment and go to theanatomyofknitting.com. There's a banner which should be that side. And if you click through that and then purchase your class, Craftsy gives me a little bit of credit for that and pays me a little bit for having the ad on the website. That's the only ad I have on the website, and it helps pay for the podcast fees. So I really appreciate that. I was able to pay for about 2 months of podcasting fees because of you all using that link. So I am very appreciative, and thank you for that. So that's it. I hope you all have a good week, and I will see you in 2 weeks. I should see you in 2 weeks. That should be I don't have my calendar up on my computer. Got it up here. So 2 weeks should be in February 4th. So I should see you all then. So have a good day, and keep those needles cooking.